What's going on, everyone? So in today's video I'm going to try and make the quickest and most detailed way you can actually complete these new commendations in the Shrouded Spoils update. Just know this isn't actually how you complete the update, it's actually how you complete the new commendations that are in this update. So without further ado, I'm going to get straight into the video now. So jumping straight into our commendations, the first thing that actually comes up is the Kraken. Now, my tips for actually defeating these Krakens in the easiest way possible is what you're going to need is a rowboat, some gunpowder barrels, and a whole lot of ammo. Now, this method works best with more than one person, but if you are playing solo, feel free to go to my Discord and find some people to play with. What you're going to want to do is get someone to actually row out on the rowboat with some gunpowder barrels, and actually drop them next to the tentacles, and then blow them up when you're at a safe distance. Usually, a tentacle takes 1 to 2 gunpowder barrels. It really depends on how much damage you've actually done to it, but this is my most efficient way you can actually kill these Krakens. Moving on to defeating the Megalodons, I actually made a video called the Cursed Megalodon Method. Just summarizing that pretty quickly, all you need to do is actually find a skeleton ship with a Megalodon chasing you, then use the skeleton ship to help you take out that Megalodon. A more detailed version of that is actually also on my channel if you want to check that out, but that's pretty much the entire video summarized there. Now, following that, we actually have the forts, and believe it or not, a lot of the commendations in this update are actually revolved around the forts. So when attacking forts, you can do it solo, but it is highly suggested you do it with other people. But what you want to do is get the smallest ship possible, because the smallest ship means there's less of a chance you're actually going to get hit by the cannons from the fort. And once you have made it safely onto the fort, what you want to do to really maximize the time you spend at that fort is crowd them up by the door and try and use the door as a bit of coverage. As you can see in the video, they pretty much just pile up, and it's quite hard for you to actually get shot if you do this technique correct. Once you have made it through 10 to 13 waves of skeletons, the final captain should actually spawn, and once you kill that captain, it should actually drop a key, and that key will go into the doorway at the bottom of the fort, and once you open that up, all your loot will be there, so do go and sell that at the vendors. So moving on to the commendations of the ships now. The technique I'm going to explain here is actually pretty similar to what I said for the Megalodon. So what you need to do is try and use the Megalodon to take down these ships. It really makes things a lot easier. And assuming things go pretty smoothly, which most of the time it does, sometimes it can get a bit difficult. By the end of it, you should have all the loot from the Megalodon and all the loot from the cursed ships. So moving on to the next set of commendations, which are actually the statues. Now, these statues are pretty easy to find. What I suggest you do is whatever area you spawn in, try and go to at least 5 islands that are near your general proximity. And of course, when you're there, all you need to do is turn your volume all the way up so you can actually hear the audio cues that these statues do give off. And once you've been circling an island for long enough, you will definitely find a mermaid. What I suggest you do is actually stop the ship right there with your anchor, then dive down and take it out. Of course, using gunpowder barrels can actually help take out these statues, but they're not a necessity. And finally, we actually move on to the master commendations. Now, the way you get these is pretty simple. Just complete all of the previous challenges that I've said in this video. And that, in its core, is the quickest and most descriptive way I could possibly tell you how to clear through these commendations. So if this video has helped, feel free to leave a like. It really supports out the channel. If this is the sort of content you enjoy, feel free to subscribe. And with that being said, that's the entire video. Thanks everyone for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.